Welcome. How do we bring up a problem in our relationship? It's inevitable that problems will arise in your relationship. Some will be small, such as not loading the dishwasher properly, and some will be big, such as differences in core values or unmanaged conflict styles. Whatever the problems are, healthy communication is key to any happy, stable, and long-lasting relationship. And the most important thing to remember isn't what you say, but how you say it. Research shows that 96% of the time, the way in which a conflict conversation ends is determined by how it starts. If you start a conversation with criticism and blame, you will get criticism, blame, or defensiveness right back. The result? Anger, frustration, and no resolution. If you start the conversation softly, vulnerably, and with the intention of finding a solution, you will see amazing results. Again, I want to remind you that your partner is your ally and not your enemy. You're on the same team, remember? A 6-year study carried out by researcher and clinician John Gottman predicted the likelihood of a couple's divorce by observing just the first 3 minutes of a conflict conversation. The couples who divorced started their conversations harshly, with a lot of negativity and criticism, and displayed far fewer expressions of positivity than those who stayed together 6 years later. The research from the study revealed that discussions end in the same way they begin. So if you start an argument harshly by attacking your partner, you will end up with as much tension, if not more, than you began with. Softening the startup of your conversations is crucial to resolving conflict and maintaining the safety and trust in your relationship. John Gottman describes a soft startup as having 3 important elements. Describe the problem you are experiencing without blame, express how it makes you feel, and express what you need and not what you don't need, e.g. make a request. In the lesson, Identifying Your Conflict Style, I explored the 5 different styles of reacting to a trigger and ways to deal with it. So, keeping your conflict style in mind, I'd like to give you 3 different examples of starting conversations so you can see the difference between a harsh startup and a soft startup. Example 1. A harsh startup would sound something like this. You just don't care about me, do you? You put everything else first in your life, your job, your friends, your phone, and you ignore me and this relationship. You're selfish and you don't care about anyone but yourself. This harsh startup uses blame, criticism, and sarcasm. Whereas a soft startup would sound something like this. When you look at your phone while we're eating dinner instead of talking to me, I feel angry and hurt. Could you please ask me how I am and tell me about your day? You've described the problem, you've expressed how you feel, and you've made a request. Example 2. A harsh startup would sound something like this. You don't think I'm attractive anymore, do you? You look at other women so much more now. You're so much more shallow than I thought. I know I'm bigger than I used to be, but I've just had a baby. Why can't you just accept me for who I am? Defensiveness, criticism, blame. A soft startup would sound something like this. Because I've put on weight after having a baby, I'm worried I'm not attractive enough for you anymore and I feel insecure. I need you to give me a few compliments and reassurance during this time. You've described the problem, you've expressed your feelings, and you've made a request. Example 3. A harsh startup would sound something like this. We never have sex anymore and I'm sick of it. You're not the woman you used to be. I get more attention from the cat than I do from you. Blame and criticism. A soft startup would sound something like this. When you're tending to the baby all the time, I feel neglected, unprioritized, and uncared for. I need us to carve some more private time just for us. Could we maybe call a babysitter this week? You've described the problem, you've expressed your feelings, and you've made a request. In an ideal world, we would always use a soft startup, but of course, communication can and will get out of hand sometimes, especially when we're stressed. The aim here is to keep these soft startups in mind when you want to bring up a problem, as you will be way more likely to have a successful outcome, ending with a solution or compromise instead of hitting gridlock and perpetuating hurt. But when you do slip into your conflict styles and go into protective blame and attack mode, take a look at our next lesson, how to repair hurt after a fight. So, to recap, healthy communication is key to any happy, stable, and long-lasting partnership. Start the conversation softly, vulnerably, and with the intention of finding a solution. Using soft startups, you will be way more likely to have a successful outcome ending with a solution.